globalization and its impact on culture. ये broader theme है. Now, when I talk about culture, culture के elements are religion, culture elements are songs, art forms like paintings, even literature. Culture also will include elements of some belief systems. A religion or belief same चीज नहीं है. Religion is somewhere the institutionalized beliefs जो हैं, your God, your temple, your church, your prayers, ये religion है. The belief systems are our deep thoughts. हमारे value systems जो हैं, like value systems are belief systems. When I say art forms, songs, drama, dance, we're talking about movies, our scripts of the movies. So how does globalization impact our culture? Now, isme any question, it's like a thumb rule to all of you. Any question you asked on culture, agar culture pe koi sawal puchega aapko, make sure you write about how culture is an element of environment and man ka interaction. And this environment is not always natural one. It also includes the man-made environment. So हम बात करेंगे in the context of infrastructure. We'll talk in the context of technology as environment. We'll talk in the context of global conflicts. ये भी environment है. Environment is also our economic systems, our job cultures. ये भी आपका environment है. So culture is a product of man-environment relationship. When you have globalization, आप globalization को इससे लिखोगे आप. How globalization includes infrastructure. Globalization is about technology. Globalization, somewhere conflicts hain, the trade aspects hain. So these are the man-made elements. And you have one element of discussion here. The second aspect, आप जब culture की बात कर रहे हैं, you will talk about what are the elements of new thinking. Elements of new thinking. से हम rights की बात करते हैं. Okay, what is right, what is wrong. We'll talk in the context of what do we mean by ये जो context of thinking in terms of inequality versus equality. This ये भी part of your thinking aspects हैं. Gender rights ये भी aspect part है. Okay, our thinking, thoughts around say life and development. So think of the traditional notions of life. क्या था हमारा? Life is circular, life is karma, life is related to our actions. But somewhere globalizations में वो जो circular element है, that's compromise. Life is seen as linear. Life is seen as birth to death and culmination. The traditional thinking of development was emancipation. It's about renunciation. It's about sacrifice. एक notion है, तो जैसे कि your brahmacharya stage and your vanaprastha stage, वो एक traditional thinking था. But the modern thinking of development is around, somewhere it's about material, somewhere it's about economic. आप वो लेके आएंगे. I'm just hinting the formats here. When I say culture, the culture आप discuss करेंगे from the man-environment element. So environment का क्या-क्या part है, and I'll say globalization is doing this. Second, culture का element है what we are thinking, man and our thinking. Thinking about rights, किसका अधिकार है, किसका अधिकार नहीं है, inequality and equality issues, gender rights and so on. The third element is we'll talk about the culture का spread कैसे होता है. Okay, how in the recent times, the culture spread in terms of contagion. The culture spread in terms of your hierarchy effect. Culture spread as a consequence of translocation. How does culture spread? Culture spreads एक तरीका है contagion effect, as in by touch, as in what's also called as the neighborhood effect. You are near something and you start getting impacted. Contagion effect. Second is hierarchy. Hierarchy is some power, some force telling you what to do. Some influencer telling you what to do. So think about hierarchy aspects कि जैसे our जो YouTubers हैं and the thought influencers. And translocation is like migration. You have physically moved out and your culture has changed. So globalization में आपको ये तीनों का impact मिलेगा. Become more and more in contact with new cultures. When I say contact, not just physical contact, but also we are seeing things, we are hearing things. ये आपको music में दिखाई दे रहा है. You can see this impact on our internet. Okay, contagion effect. Near and ट्रांसलोकेशन ये माइग्रेशन वाला हो गया. People moving out, people moving in, Indians in America, Indians in Southeast Asia, Australia. What happens? So talk about culture spread. The fourth aspect in culture you'll talk about is how is culture creating or notions of आइडेंटिटी इश्यूज क्या है. ओके, इसको आप लिंक करना होगा इश्यूज ऑफ कन्फ्लिक्ट्स के साथ, इश्यूज ऑफ इनसिक्योरिटी के साथ. यू हैव टू डिस्कस. सो ग्लोबलाइजेशन कल्चर आई कैन सी एज एन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. इसमें आप ज्योग्राफी कहां ला रहे हैं? दिस इज वन एलिमेंट ऑफ ज्योग्राफी. द कल्चर का जो स्प्रेड का प्रोसेस है, this is diffusion of innovation, diffusion of ideas. यहाँ geography आया है. While talking about geography and culture environment, you're discussing environment theme. This is again a geographical perspective. इसके बाद whatever you're discussing, you will discuss. अच्छा, ये वाला part जो है life and development. Development is geographical concept. उसके बाद examples देना from the regions. What examples you have from the regions? Some name of tribes, some name of डांस फॉर्म. जैसे कि एग्जाम्पल के फॉर्म में से फूड में यू टॉक अबाउट कॉन्टिनेंटल, यू कैन टॉक अबाउट चाइनीज इन्फ्लुएंसेस, यू कैन टॉक अबाउट इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ अमेरिकन फूड्स जो फास्ट फूड्स हैं. इन टर्म्स ऑफ म्यूजिक, very specifically you call this as what? You call this as K-pop, right? Korean music has catching up. Your BTS music. You talk in terms of movies. Okay, please do mention how it has impacted Netflix and OTT platforms. Mein what themes do we have? Themes of our movies. The themes, the one big change is the themes have moved from family based stories towards more individual based stories. So movies का impact है. आप एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हो कल्चर्स के इम्पैक्ट में, अर्बनाइजेशन प्रोसेस एंड द राइज ऑफ द न्यूक्लियर फैमिलीज. अगर आपने ये ब्रॉड एरियाज कैप्चर कर लिया है, एंड ऑफ कोर्स do talk about migration. You cannot write more than this in 15-20 words. Food के बारे में examples दे देना. Music, mention 2 or 3 music. You also have the influence of Latin music. Find lot of takers for Latin music. There's increase in the Western music. एक fusion cultures की बात करते हैं. Fusion culture. I mean, the best example of fusion culture is if you have seen some songs of the Coke Studios. Okay, Coke Studio में instruments हैं. So typical Sufi culture. There's also a traditional Rajasthani music, plus the Western instruments. So here we'll say that there's a geographical element of location, plus there are influences from outside. एक example उठाओ and discuss that, maybe in a paragraph or so. So any culture in globalization पे आपका ये डोमेन बन गया. अच्छा, इसके बाद आपको क्या करना है? Asset location वाइज उठाओ आप. So you can talk about the map of India. Tell us how Rajasthan you have got folk music, okay, and its popularization. You can always mention programs like Indian Idol. It has taken the music beyond the areas of Rajasthan. You can talk about the influence of music में, influence of tribal musics. एक आपका ये जो है ना वाला क्या था वो Tibetan hymns का chanting. It also won the Grammy Award, if you know. Tibetan chanting. This has gone global. There is a Grammy Award for this now. Okay. So acknowledgement. So ऐसे आपको एक दो उठा के you talk in terms of tribal art. इसका बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल होगा कि आवर प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जी in every foreign visit he makes it a point to showcase some aspect of Indian culture, be it the shawl, be it those handicrafts. अभी आपका बहुत डिस्कशन चल रहा है about the Gita press. Okay, so do talk about that tribal art, our traditional customs. ठीक है, pick examples from that. ये आपका ये broad form. Yes, absolutely. Here, of course, I forgot the dance. तो नाटू नाटू है. Yes, going to Oscar and winning, it's no small deal. ठीक है, तो ये आपका ingredients हैं. Okay, location, places. You'll have to talk about examples. So how does globalization impact?